hope you're having a good day today. I'm driving down the freeway today, so I thought that I'd take a minute to tell you a little bit about myself. And I've put out about 5 videos now, and kind of wanted to let you know kind of where I'm coming from and why I decided to do stealth camping. Basically, it boils down to when I was young, when I was born and up until I was about 5 years old, I had a great life. I had a dad that had a really good job. I had a mom that stayed at home, and she was able to take care of us kids, and everything. It was a perfect life. I had a dog that was just perfect, and everything about my life, I couldn't ask for anything better. And when I turned 5, my father had a massive stroke, and it was really debilitating for him. He lost everything on the left side of his body. He couldn't walk, he couldn't use his arms, or his arm on the left side. His face came down because the muscles weren't working. He lost his speech, and he went through a really tough time with a massive stroke. And during that time, there was a lot of conflict between my parents and my dad. He was going through rehabilitation and getting better, and by the end of it, they ended up divorcing, which just was very devastating for me and my brother. And they ended up divorcing, and my dad did get better. He didn't get back to 100%. He'll never be back to 100%, but he was able to walk. He can use his left arm now. He still has a little bit of a speech impediment, but he can communicate very well, and he's okay. But through that, he and my mom got divorced, and it was just that in and of itself was a really bad thing for my brother and I. And what happened after that, it kind of changed me, because for the next it was right when I had started school first, and for the next 6 years of school, it was one school to the next. I moved back and forth between my parents' houses, and I ended up going to 5 different schools in my first 6 years of school. And it really had an effect on me, because I wasn't able to meet kids and get kids in my life that ended up becoming long-term and lifelong friends. I've got one friend that I've had for 45 years. I don't know how we've stuck together through all this time. He's like a brother to me, but he's the only one. And when I got to 6th grade, I finally got into a school system that I stayed at until I graduated high school, but I was never comfortable being in one place long term after my first 6 years of school. I just wasn't. So when I got out of high school, I went into the Marine Corps, and in the Marine Corps, you are always going from one place to another. You don't stay very long. You stay, maybe a couple years at most at one place, and then they ship you off to somewhere else, to your next duty station. So I really enjoyed the Corps. I went from California to North Carolina to Japan in the 4 years that I was active, and I really enjoyed the fact that I was able to get up and move somewhere else with my job, and I really enjoyed the life of the Marine Corps. So anyway, when I got out of active duty and I came back home, I kind of continued that trend, and I continued to move around. I stayed at a place for, a year, maybe 2 years, and then I moved, and then I was also kind of doing that with my job. I'd stay at a job for a couple of years, and then I'd move again and go find something else to do, because it's just kind of in my DNA to get up and go and try something new, because I kind of get an itch, you know, I kind of get an itch to get up and go and do something else and see something else and have some different types of experiences in my life. So my childhood really set the tone for who I am today, and that's kind of why I've really embraced the idea of going stealth camping. So anyway, when I was 33, I had my son, and when my son was born, I told myself that I didn't want my son to go through the same thing that I went through when I was young, and I didn't want him to shuffle around from place to place and have to restart and try to make new friends at a new place and, you know, try to reestablish himself like I did. So I really made a commitment to myself and to my son that no matter what, I was going to let him stay in the same, at least, school system, and I tried to make it so he stayed in the same house the whole time, but I wasn't able to. We stayed about 10 years in one house, and we moved about a year ago because of the circumstances we had to move. But I was very, very set on wanting him to be able to stay at the same school so he could build some friendships that were going to last a long time and last his lifetime. And he's a junior now, he'll be a senior next year, and he's been at the same school since kindergarten, and I've really met that obligation with him, and I'm really happy that I was able to do that for him, because it took a lot of commitment on my part, quite honestly. I live in a small town, like I mentioned on my first video. There's only about 6,000 or 7,000 people there, and it's a wonderful little town. I really like it, and the people there are nice, and it's a really quiet place. But I gotta tell you, after being in that town for about 11 years, I'm really ready for a change, and I'm really ready to go somewhere else, because I want some new experiences. So a couple of years ago, I started watching videos about stealth camping. I've watched videos about people living in vans and just kind of a nomad lifestyle, and it sounds very, very appealing to me, and I am really, really wanting to try to do it. But right now, I've got another son that he's about 6 months old, 7 months old now, and that kind of lifestyle, living as a nomad, just it won't work in my current situation, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I really, really, really feel the urge to get out and explore and do new things. So I kind of decided and went and thought to myself, how can I do a little bit of both? And kind of the way I can get both of those things is, you know, going out and doing stealth camping maybe once or twice a month, and being able to get out and you know, have some new adventures and get away from my house and my city and escape, so that I can get that escape that I need from my situation. And stealth camping really fit that bill. I've started really close to my house, and I've moved to another city that's about, I don't know, 10 miles away, and it's a bigger city. But my goal with the stealth camping is that I want to get up and go and adventure farther away and see some new places that I haven't seen before, and do some overnights and maybe some weekends that are going to be a lot farther than just the next town away. So that's kind of why I've decided to go this route that I'm going with the stealth camping. And over time, I'm going to get the things that I need that I can stay out a little bit longer, like the solar power, the battery, some type of bigger water container, the heat source that I talk about, the stove, and the maybe even a little refrigerator so that I can haul some food with me. I don't need much. I don't want to build my Trailblazer out to have structures in it. I'm kind of, that doesn't really interest me. I want a place to go to bed. I want a place to cook. I want a place to go to the bathroom. That's really, really important to me. I'm still looking at the different options there, but I don't really want to build out my Trailblazer because I just want to get out for the experience, and it's not something that I'm going to be able to do full time, so I just want to be able to get out and explore. So that's kind of what I'm going to work towards myself, because I have to be at home and I have the obligations there, but at the same time I'm feeling that it should go out. Hopefully long term I will be able to go travel across the country. I really am interested in building some type of passive income, whether it be with YouTube or maybe affiliate programs or some other venue, so I can have some passive income that'll give me a little bit more time to go out and do this exploring and get out there and do what I want. So that's kind of what my story is. That's kind of why I've decided to go stealth camping. I just really feel the itch to go, and that's the bottom line. And I really like sharing my stories with you. I really like sharing my adventures with you. And I really like putting these videos out so that I can tell people that maybe going through the same thing that I am, how I managed to break away and do it, because especially now with the lockdown and everything that's going on with COVID, I've felt more and more confined as each passing week and each passing month goes by. I feel so confined right now, and I just want to get out and go. So, that's why I keep telling you, if you're feeling these things, if you feel like stealth camping, go do it. Just decide on where you want to go, get your vehicle set up. You don't have to have a completely built out vehicle to go do this. I started out with that sleeping bag. I bought a mat, and over time I'm accumulating what I really need so that I can do it the way I want. But just go out there and do it. I spent literally $30 on the mat, the pump, and the sleeping bag, and I'm out there doing it. So just take that step and do it. One thing I really like about the way I'm doing it too is I've only stealth camped a couple of times, as you know, and one thing I really enjoy about the way I'm doing it is the fact that I go out and I am trying it. I got the sleeping bag the first time and realized, hey, I need something to sleep on. So I got the mat, and after that, it's like, hey, I need something for heat. So I'm going to get some type of heater, and then I realized, hey, I really would like to cook when I'm out and not just be stuck bringing stuff from home or going to a fast food place to pick up stuff. So I really like the way that I'm doing it, and that I didn't build out this vehicle and get everything up front, because each time I go out I learn what I'm doing more, and I learn what I need, and I'm not buying frivolous stuff that's not necessary. Right now I don't need a battery, I don't need solar, because I'm not going very far away from home, and I'm going literally one night and I'm back home. But when I start going for a couple of days, I'll want to be able to charge my iPad, I'll want to be able to charge my laptop, or not my laptop, my cell phone, and want to be able to maybe have some type of light in here. I don't know what type of light yet, but maybe I want to have some type of light, so I'm going to need some kind of power bank so that I can hook that stuff up and not use my car battery when I'm out for a couple of days. So my advice to you with that is just get yourself out there and start with that sleeping bag and that mat, and kind of go out there and find what you need and what you want, and start adding a little bit at a time, because if you're going to, try to build something out in the beginning, you might not like the way it is once you actually start doing it, and you also are going to have to take it apart if you don't like it and start over anyway. So start with the basics, start with the minimum stuff, and then figure out what works for you and what you want, what you need in your vehicle to do it the way that you want to do it, because the way that other people build them out, I've watched a lot of videos, and there's things that I've seen people do that I'm just like, I would never, ever, ever do that in my vehicle, because I saw one guy, he was using 2x6s and 1-inch plywood to build out his SUV, and had to go get heavier shocks on his vehicle because it was so heavy. And I'm like, I would never ever do that, because that just seems like a complete waste, and you don't need all that to go camping in an SUV. So the point being is, just start slow, start with one thing and then another, and as you need things, you realize, hey, I would really like to have this, and here's what can fulfill that. Go out and get it and add it, and then go from there. So anyway, I hope you really enjoyed the video today, and I'm glad that I got to tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about where I'm coming from and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Everybody has their own reasons for wanting to get out and stealth camp and to get out and be nomadic and be mobile, even if it's just for a day or a few days. Everybody has their own reason for wanting to do this, and I'm really, really enjoying doing this stealth camping and going out overnight, and I can't wait till I can do it for, maybe 2 days, or maybe do it even for 4 days on a long weekend. Get out there and just, travel a couple of days away and have a good time and have some fun. As I keep saying in my videos, when you're first starting out, it's really important to get likes, and it's really important to get subscribers on your YouTube channel, and I'm going to keep putting out content for you and keep putting out stealth videos for you. So please smack that subscribe button and hit that like button, so that I can get more people watching my channel, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and have a great day.